speaker today is James Scotty Scott. It's hard to describe Scotty, not because he doesn't do anything, because he does so many things. He's primarily associated with Unity Renaissance Church, where he's a certified Unity teacher. He does several other jobs there as well. I've lost track of how many. He's also famous for poetry. He's a very prolific poet. In fact, he has several materials in the lobby for sale at the end of the service. He's known around town as the loud poetry guy, and he's called a professional humorist, which is a fancy term for really entertaining guy. So please welcome James Scotty Scott.
It's good to be back. A little different look. When I was here at the end of August, even though I had been doing chemotherapy for 3 months, I still had all my hair. However, a few days after my last visit here, 3 weeks before my high school reunion, God and the chemotherapy companies decided that I would look a lot better bald. So I sent out a Facebook post that told everybody in my graduating class from Lake Taylor High School that I would be doing my best Telly Savalas impression at the reunion. Now I have to tell you, there's something, I noticed something about 3 or 4 weeks ago odd about this whole thing, is that from here up, almost all of the hair is leaving, if it's not already gone, with one exception. Weirdest thing in the world. The hair on the top of the head is the most easily noticeable. It's gone. It's, there's little bits of it here and there. One of my doctors came up, patted me on the head, and she said, "Oh, this is like down up here now. This is great." So my head has never had so much attention from women as I have in the last month and a half. And then shaving in the morning is kind of like, well, I'll do it, but because I don't know what would happen if I just stopped completely. But there's not much there to shave. And my eyebrows have pretty much gone. However, one set of hair on my head has been given a warning to me, and it was in the chemicals, the Erbitux, one of the 2 chemicals I'm taking. It says, however, be aware that your eyelashes may grow 2 to 3 times their normal length and may cause vision problems. Everything else, every follicle from here up decides to vanish, and my eyelashes are going out like this. I'm like, now why couldn't you fix it so that whatever affects the eyelashes affects all the other hair on the head? That would be, I could end up with hair down to my waist in no time whatsoever, and all because I was under chemotherapy. So they haven't figured that out yet. So anyway, I want to thank you all. Many of you are praying for me, doing healing energy work for me. I appreciate it. I had a CT scan about a week and a half ago. The tumors are continuing to shrink. There are 2 of them. The doctor thinks maybe within about 2 months we may be done. So, and then I'll get to see my hair back. So all is well. They tell me it grows back curly the first time. That's going to be weird. I've never had curly hair. Okay, so now that we've updated the medical stuff, I'm going to start with a poem today. This is a poem that's actually on my CD, Let Out the Angel. It's an odd little poem, because it's not hilarious, but it's just an odd little poem. Inside my body is a dot. It's all the things my body's not. Immortal, perfect, living, free. It's God in me as me, you see. It's not just me, you've got it too. The God in me is the God in you. And you and me are linked as we in one big cosmic unity. I am spirit, I am might, I am love, and I am light. I am all I think and do. And best of all, I am you. We're all connected, you can bet, like spirit's mega internet. And all that I create at you, I do to me, and others too. The quantum folks, as they are bent, are calling this entanglement. How could you feel alone and blue? There's zillions who are part of you. I am spirit, I am might, I am love, and I am light. I am all I think and do. Best of all, I am you. You see a worm, your neighbors wriggle. I tickle her. You start to giggle. The we that's us is really one. The function breaks down into fun. This network of which we're a part, it has no spam, but it has heart. It's Spacebook, where we all are friends, and this connection never ends. I am spirit, I am might, I am love, and I am light. I am all I think and do, and best of all, I am you. Thank you. So we go from the ridiculous to the sublime. I have a modestly long quote from Ralph Waldo Emerson. He studied the Transcendentalists over the summer, and bless you, which makes perfect sense in a church. So. I have a little book of Emerson's called Essays. It was published in 1886, 4 years after he passed. And there happens to be an essay in there called The Poet. And I went, ooh, I'll read that one. And I found this long paragraph in it that was just great. The paragraph after it talks about substance abuse by poets and how they make it work. So I chose not to read that paragraph. But I'll read this one. I think I'll put on my glasses to make sure I get every word exactly right. Okay, Ralph Waldo Emerson, the poet. It is a secret which every intellectual man, and please excuse Emerson's use of the word man and attach a non-gender specific term to it. It is a secret which every intellectual man quickly learns that beyond the energy of his possessed and conscious intellect, he is capable of a new energy, as of an intellect doubled on itself. By abandonment to the nature of things, that beside his privacy of power as an individual man, there is a great public power on which he can draw by unlocking at all risks his human doors, and suffering the ethereal tides to roll and circulate through him. Then is he caught up in the life of the universe. His speech is thunder. His thought is law. His words are universally intelligible as the plants and animals. The poet knows that he speaks adequately then only when he speaks somewhat wildly, or with the flower of the mind. Not with the intellect used as an organ, but with the intellect released from all service and suffered to take its direction from its celestial life. Or, as the ancients were wont to express themselves, not with intellect alone, but with the intellect inebriated by nectar. I love that line. As the traveler who has lost his way throws his reins on his horse's neck and trusts to the instinct of the animal to find his road, so we must do with the divine animal who carries us through this world. For if in any manner we can stimulate this instinct, new passages are open to us into nature. The mind flows into and through things that are the hardest and the highest, and this metamorphosis is possible. All men avail themselves of such means as they can to add this extraordinary power to their normal powers. So you got extraordinary powers. You don't know you have extraordinary powers sometimes. You forget that you have them. When we talk about, as Jesus said, the kingdom of heaven is within you, what does that mean? The God that's at your core. The Spirit that's that little glowing dot inside of you. That everybody says, well, that's what the physical body is for, is to house that little glowing dot. No. The little glowing dot built the physical body because it needed something around it on this planet. So what have you got inside you that you haven't contacted yet? And there's two basic pieces to this message. The first one is the possibility that within you is something so amazing and so powerful that you haven't touched into yet. That you have this level where you sit most of the time, and every once in a while, hopefully often and more often as you go along, you begin to realize the strength, the power, the unlimited connection that you have in the entire universe. So I'm listening to Nancy saying, I'm worn out by the end of the week. I can't move. They're throwing cheeseburgers at me and I can't duck. And I got to tell you, in the midst of chemotherapy, back in middle September, we had an education week in the church. And I was in the church for 14 hours a day, 5 days in a row. Everybody kept walking up to me going, are you okay? Oh, yeah. Got there at 7:30 in the morning, was there till 9:30, 10 o'clock at night, ran a program with 5 ministers in from out of town, and made it all happen. And on Saturday, I slept well. But I knew that if I told myself to access that energy that I know I have, I would. And I did that. And all you got to do is go in there and say to those kids, watch me. I'm going to wear you out. When this week is done, you're going to wonder what happened. I thought we were going to she was going to be collapsed on the floor by Friday. Instead, we're all going, we can't keep up with her. So do that. You have it in you. You have it in you. There is within you an amazing power source that we call spirit. It's right there. All you have to do is stop telling yourself, I'm tired. All you have to do is stop telling yourself, I'm broke. All you have to do is stop telling yourself, I can't.
No stinking thinking.
That's right. That's exactly right. You tell yourself you can. Tell yourself how opulently abundant you are, because compared to 90% of the world, you are, whether or not you look like you are. You are opulently abundant children of God. You got all that in you and around you. There are people who have never seen the like of this in their lives. Those folks out there who eat 1 bowl of rice a day and some form of protein once a week. And you're trying to decide which restaurant to hit tonight. You know, and it's tight because I think I got $10 a person to spend for that meal. Well, these guys spend $10 a month on food. But you got it. It's right there within you. You chose to be in this life, in this place, at this time, and what you chose was opulence. And now you're closing it off sometimes. Don't do that. Open yourself up. You're an amazing power. You're an amazing power for good and positive things in this universe. Do that. And I'm going to switch things on myself here even. The second part of the message in this was releasing everything to spirit. Throw the reins down on the neck of the horse and tell the horse to take you home. We battle so often, and a reference was made later in that essay about the traveler who tries in the winter, in the snow, tries to ride that horse, go this way and that, still can't figure out which way is home. And the reference goes back to just set the reins down on the horse and say, go home. And the horse will. Every time. And we get so caught up in the battle of what do we do? Where do we go? Release it to spirit. Take me home. Take me where I need to go. You know, the guy, when they told me on June 1st, you have cancer, you have 2 tumors, I took about a minute to go, then I went, okay, what do we do now? And they told me what we do now. They assembled 3 teams of doctors. The first procedure was 5 hours later. It was on a Sunday. They moved fast, and they moved well. And the tumors are shrinking, and soon they'll be gone. And there are others who set up into a situation. There are other types of cancer. I have happy cancer, evidently. I have a cancer that's curable, and you go on with life. There are others who don't, who get one that you got this or you got that. And you've got days, weeks, hours. But you never know. But I do know that you make the choice. And you make the choice with each moment that you're in. And if you release it all to spirit, you say, you know, make me full of joy as I'm supposed to be. Make me full of love and peace. Let me feel that. No matter what else is boiling around inside me. Give me that to do. And spirit will do that. I just had a friend of mine, 95 years old. We celebrated his birthday at Renaissance about 3 months ago. Made his transition this week. 2 days after his daughter made hers. Poor Dean has been going along, and he was at church last Sunday. He was at church. This side of his face has been just hanging down for about 8 months. Bell's palsy. You have to listen closer because his mouth isn't working as well as it was, but he always had a joke to tell. So you had to get in close to make sure you heard all the words. And he told me a joke last Sunday. And then the next day they had to go up to New York where one of his 2 daughters lives because she was very close to passing away, and she passed right after they got there. Upon hearing the announcement, he had a brain aneurysm. So he spent 2 days trying to decide what he was going to do, deep inside himself. The funny thing for his family was that the palsy went away when the aneurysm hit. All of a sudden, he looked back to himself again for the first time in almost a year. And his other daughter said, he's going to be with Diane and with my mom. And he just wanted to fix himself up a little bit before he made the transition. And he did. Everybody knew he was going. He knew he was going. 95 years old, he was probably ready. But he was ready enough to hang around to tell me a joke last Sunday. So, go into yourself. See what you have that you can share today. You can change other people's lives today. All you got to do is throw the reins down on the horse's neck and say, take me wherever you want to take me. That brings me joy, love, and peace, and brings joy, love, and peace to the rest of the world. I have just decided I no longer wish to try to control what I call life at this time. I would like to release that control to you. And I'd like to sail. So, I had this whole thing I was going to do, and I decided not to. That's cool. So I have this poem to leave you with. I wrote it last night. I've looked at it twice. Boy, I hope it's a good poem. I am best. I am right. I am power. I am might. Don't need you. Don't need luck. Oh, look. It's an oncoming truck. Control freaks everywhere should duck. The light in the tunnel might be a truck. If you want happiness and peace, then take a time out and just release. My uncle was a control freaker. He was strong and others weaker. One day as he was railing on, he fell over the railing and was gone. Control freaks all manipulate till you realize that it's too late. If you want happiness and peace, then take a time out and just release. You control, you can herd, you think you get the final word, but the final word as you release is spirit softly saying, peace. You cannot push a wave along. You cannot force a robin's song, but you can rest and let it go and know you glow within that flow. Control freaks, time to let it loose. Be Jesus instead of being Zeus. If you want happiness and peace, then take the time to just release. Enjoy your day.